Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so we have the Prince of Wands. Very passionate energy. One that can be a little juvenile though, right? So we have to mind our... Okay, wait, sorry. Let me see. What is that? It's just an raw. Oh, I almost read it as Rome, but it is the O and the A are switched. It could be Rome, I guess. But it looks like raw R-A-O-M. Okay, so let's see. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. We have a Pudgy over here. Hello, Pudgy. Hello, Pudge. And see a horse. Maybe it's a donkey. It kind of looks more like a donkey. I'm looking at this. It looks like 18 to me. 18. This guy looks like a dog, maybe like a angry dog. You can see, where's my stick? We can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth looks just kind of, you know, really like a little dog going at it. Come on, baby. Come on. Come see mamas. Oh, you big boy. All right, now you gotta jump over. I can't hold you during my reading, but I promise you will cuddle in just a little bit. I guarantee it. Okay, so we have that kind of just rabid, mean little dog, but so sweet, right? Once you get in their good graces. So I do kind of feel like... I almost feel like you've been on this path of, and I'm looking at the donkey and I think of Don Quixote immediately. And I'm thinking, and is it a donkey in that story? I mean, it is, I think, right? But that's what I thought of. So that's what I'm going with. So the essence of, right? This kind of the, a little bit of the fool, a little bit of the magician, the philosopher, the just kind of regular old dude, you know, going through a real period of depersonalization, of losing kind of the veneer of life, right? Things are crumbling a bit, the illusion or delusion of reality, and really kind of on your own hero's journey in some ways. I can imagine the donkey is laying there, sitting. So I feel like there is almost kind of an ease in all of this. I feel like you have taken naturally to this awakening, to this period of time where you know, the kind of the old life is falling away. You are not interested in maintaining that thing that you had built anymore. You are at this point in your life where you're finding meaning in places that maybe you have never experienced, right? Finding the beauty in like the little subtle things, where so much of your life you've been going after these kind of lofty goals and titles and, you know, adorations and kind of, you know, being number one in a lot of aspects of your life, and it just doesn't feel it does not hold its fragrance anymore. There's not the draw to it. And so, you know, there's a sense of like really kind of living in Alice in Wonderland in some ways. Just finding little joys in the mundane, you know, where, you know, you maybe have done the thing a million times and never really thought too much of it. And then one day you notice, you know, I don't know, I'm thinking of like having the same cup of coffee every day. And one day you just notice how exquisite it tastes, you know, the way that it kind of brightens your day. And I'm saying this as somebody who quit coffee almost 2 months ago. So I'm fully like in my memory pleasure zone, thinking about having a drink of warm coffee in the morning. But yeah, so really, really being able to connect with the things that just felt like, you know, whatever, the little moments of your life string together into something greater. But you are really in that zone. Now, with that dog, right? The little rabid dog, right here. I feel like, you know, I feel like there's somebody in your life who is like so connected to you. You both are just, you know, can barely peel you apart, right? You are best friends. You are maybe romantically involved or married or whatever. But it might be that this is like your bestie, your best friend for a long time. And in this, I mean, I think people could even look at this and think like, are you going through like a midlife crisis, or what is happening here? Like you're switching up on us. You seem not yourself. Your motivations have changed. So you're not aligned to maybe the same lifestyle as your people are anymore, you know? And I almost kind of feel like this has made this person kind of almost feel attacked in some ways. Like you are, because you don't hold importance in the things that you shared. Not because of your sharing, but you used to be into the same stuff. Now you don't really, you know, you're not talking about it. You're not doing it as much. It just, you know, and they don't relate necessarily to where you're at in this period of time. And it feels like, you know, they're feeling maybe a little abandoned, or they're looking at this as kind of a dissolution of this relationship, this friendship. And that's a real place where grief starts to come up, right? To lose somebody that is your partner, right? And I don't necessarily mean romantic, but the person you kind of ride with, right? It's hard, you know, even when you are the one that is changing, becoming something other than you were. And of course you don't want to lose the people that you love, but you know, during these periods of real like spiritual movement you know, this is where a lot of times that hermit energy comes in, and that's just, you know, no accident about that. You know, it is often that we have to go into ourselves. We spend more time in our interior dialogue or monologue, and contemplation, and you know, the sensory aspects of becoming awoken to different parts of the world that you maybe were not noticing before. And so I feel like there is a little bit of strife here. And I think a lot of it comes down to this person, and there's a cat hair in there. I'm going to move that. That's not part of the reading. I think that they are going through a loss, and so are you in some ways. That's not to say that the friendship is over, but it's different. The dynamic is different. So, you know, I think that there could be maybe an opportunity here for you to kind of take some time, put it aside to be with this person, to maybe talk to them about how you've been feeling, what's been going on. You know, I think often, Leo, people are really good at communicating through their actions. Very action-oriented person, Leo people are. It's not about what you're saying to me. It's about what I see you doing. You know. But sometimes, you know, you have to engage with people on their level, or what is necessary. And sometimes that is pausing and having that conversation that maybe, you know, of course you want them to understand you, but it's not maybe like your favorite thing to sit down and hash things out, and you know, maybe be a little upset or whatever. But I think that this is a place where this is important, and it's important to do it now, because you don't want this to become a resentment. You don't want to make an enemy out of this person. And I don't mean like, you know, it's like the villain of your life, but you know, people who it's inconceivable in a lot of ways, but often, you know, the people that are closest to us in our life, who we allow into our sacred spaces, if we do not tend our relationships, you know, and so on, often these are the people who end up absolutely hating us the most. You know, and we've all seen that within families, within friendships, you know, the absolute just, that awfully devilish energy that can really get in there and stir things into, you know, a place of anger, of you know, feelings hurt, and then trying to express that through bad behavior, or speaking to each other ill, and so on. So I think it's something worth looking at, you know, and I can imagine it almost kind of being like a big sigh, because it's like, oh, they should know, right? They know me, they should already know. But I feel like this is, and not unlike a little dog, you know, they need to be loved on. They need to be kind of reassured that it's all good, you know, everything's okay. You don't have to like be screaming at the door or whatever every time you hear a sound, you know, and so, yes, I think that might be, you know, something that could really actually resolve a lot, just having that conversation. Okay, let's see. We have a big E right here. So maybe an E name. Now we have two people right here. And it says it looks like they're holding hands and leaving, going this way. Now we have two people right here, and these ones look like just the faces. Kind of strange looking, but smiling. I almost imagine masks, maybe. This one is interesting because it has the horns. And then it looks like it says P and then J. PJ right here. Or even maybe P and then, you know, P and then space J-I-M. So maybe gem. And it's E and an X, so X. Maybe it's an X, I don't know. I wonder. We have the goddess here with her arms lifted, holding kind of, you know, the completion of that earth energy, the rounded sphere. And the body of the goddess here. So that real earth mother kind of goddess vibe, Gaia. We have three people dancing here. So I feel like there's it almost seems like a kind of like a party, or maybe some kind of coming together of some sorts, dancing and merriment. It almost reminds me of like Midsummer or Midsummer. One of these fertility celebrations. Now we have another face. It looks like a feminine face. Right here, eyes, lips, nose, and it looks like the ram next to her. Okay, so this one is so interesting. It does, though. I almost imagine like the party, being at the party, there's just an energy of yeah, like the merriment, the this kind of almost if you've ever seen like a masquerade, or if you've ever seen I'm trying to think of like Romeo and Juliet from the 90s with like Clara Danes, like a party where it's you know, everybody's dressed up and there's masks, but it's like you know, almost kind of like a rave or something. You know, like it's like the night side. It's distorted. There's that, and we have that lunar energy right in the center here. So I feel like there's almost kind of this elation, this kind of getting into this almost, I keep thinking like it's almost kind of demented or vaguely morbid, just really surreal. Okay. But then I see these people who are almost like two lovers, right? Kind of sneaking out the side. And I wonder if we have like an Aries and somebody else here, you know, really has that connection. And, I almost wonder if this is maybe one of the reasons why you have this friend who is so upset, you know, because it's like you have started this new journey in your life. You maybe are, you know, partaking in some spiritual exploration and meeting new people and kind of becoming parts of new communities and events and things like that. And this friend of yours is just, they're not interested in that world, but yet you've maybe met somebody who feels so much like home, right? And this could be a new friend or a lover or a beloved, or, you know, whatever it is. Maybe even your aspect of you know, anima animus kind of, that can becoming conjoined. And but I just feel like kind of slipping away from everything into the next part of this, which is that unification, and you know, maybe a quieting of the frenzy of this, you know, beginning, where it is fun. It is fun. It's interesting. When people, I feel like, start their spiritual journeys, you can always kind of see there are distinct phases, you know, and that is the fear, right? And then this feeling of, does anybody else see this? Do you understand, like, oh, how profound all this is? And then we can get into that conspiracy-ish realm, or, you know, kind of moving on into, you know, finding authors and practitioners and poets and gurus and whatever, you know, spiritual leaders that have written things and put out things that really draw you in. And I think in these periods of time, there are finding community, partaking in rituals and ceremonies, and going to your services in church, you know, or mosque or temple or whatever it is, being really highly involved in that. And then, you know, often what comes after that is, or around in that, is when people start to decide that this is the way, right? You become a little maybe dogmatic, or, you know, beginning to start to think that, you know, this is I always when I see people talking about things like the astral war, and, you know, these different factions and of intelligences and species, and, you know, warring and systems, you know, fighting with each other and whatever, you know, I think that's a normal part of the process. But I look at this and I feel, you know, I hope that, like, you just keep choosing love, you know, choosing love and the evolution, bypassing all of that other stuff. And I bring it up because of the Leo placement. And I have like 3 Leo placements, and it's, I think, you know, like Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter for me. So, you know, I fall into this sometimes myself, but it is distractive, and all of that is distractive. And so, bypassing this instinct to kind of, you know, spread the word, or you know, really kind of align yourself with something that defines you as this is my identifier right now, you know, this is the aesthetic that I'm going to adopt, which all those things are fine, but not getting stuck in that place, right? Because you have a lot of passion here, and I feel like this is a beginning of a new era of your life. And I can tell because it's like, even the friendship thing really points me to believe that you are fully ready to kind of move on into a whole different lifestyle, you know, just doing different things, you know, taking your time and studying different things and meeting different people and going to different places, and, you know, something that maybe you never even realized any of this stuff was around. But it is exciting. It is exciting. And the 3 down here dancing, to me, it really tells me how potent your abilities are. There is a great balance here. and a real sense of fertility in these three as well. And these are mirroring the lower three. So we have more of a physical trinity, and then we have this, the three goddesses. And those kind of overhead, it's a beautiful kind of higher thinking, higher vibrating, and if you know anything about the Trinity, the three mothers, the three goddesses, the trine, any of these things, it is a power point, right? This is like the most potent power there is. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm envisioning here. It is a merging, you are coming into this like merging of, I feel like almost, it's like you're becoming something that you always knew you were or had or was a part of you, but you just didn't really know how to access it. But it is coming to the front. And I think people in your life, they maybe will worry about what's going on with you. But I think as they see, this is a time of kind of a revelation for you. It is that awakening. It's the awakening. And I don't know, I think as you live in a place of love and you move in a place of love, people will see how positive this has been in your experience. And, I think that ultimately people become more drawn to you. I think that your relationship, all of your relationships, previous and, the ones that you are forming, they all thrive under this energy. Okay. Now we have a tree here and we have a person. Let me look at this one here. We have the tree. We have a person that looks like they're coming down the hill. We have a bird up here, but I'm trying to see, these are like flowers that are hanging over. They almost think of like, what are those ones? They are the purple ones that kind of hang over, and I can't think of what they're called. But they're beautiful. So I just imagine like a scene of like walking down a hill and with a field of flowers, and there's a tree there, seeking refuge from the heat, from the sun, from that, that wand energy, the fire energy. And so I do feel there is, a reminder here that needs to be said, is that, please, don't forget yourself in all of this. Sticking to, your basic routines, not, when we have these moments where we're feeling like we're really plugged into the universe and, spirit is very active in our lives, it's easy to get really kind of wrapped up in all of that and neglect very basic things, taking out the garbage and, paying the light bill, or, taking off work so that you can be doing other things, and it becomes a habit, right? So making sure that you are upholding that foundational realm, your routine life, so that you can do this other work on top of it. And as it gets, more kind of combined in every aspect of your life, it will be there. you know, and then we find ways to implement our spiritual work, our interior work into, you know, all the moments of our days. So, yes, this feels like a most beloved time, and, you know, one that's not without a little bit of conflict, but, it seems to be all worth it. Okay, now we're going to look at the Indigo Sage affirmation cards. These are the air element. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll just flip through here and stop where it feels right. Okay, and let's see. It says, listen to nature. Become an independent shaman, spirited by love to breathe and move personally. I feel like this is it, right? This is that energy. Being called to, you know, your authentic archetype or, you know, major archetype. And I feel like there's a sense of coming into this place, a place of being some kind of worker of spirit, if that is, you know, a shaman, some kind of magical practitioner, a ceremonial practitioner, or, you know, a healer, or somebody who divines, or, you know, whatever it is. You know, I think ultimately this is a place where this is really emerging, and it feels very potent. It really does. And I think that this is something that, like I said, I just get this feeling that it's like, it was never really like even on your radar. You know, maybe you grew up in a family where there were some, you know, religious practices or spiritual or even magical or occult practices, but I don't think that this was like your goal, right? And I think it's something that has come to you as you get older and you go through those years of initiation, you know, which I always would think when I was younger, because I've been into magic and the occult and all kinds of different magical systems and things throughout the years since I was young, pretty young, you know, in my late teens, and especially in my 20s, I thought, oh yeah, I know all this. I don't know why they say, like, you know, most initiation, like the real initiation, begins in your later 30s into your 40s. Not that there has to be an age, you know, this is just kind of an estimation. And ultimately, you know, I think it is when you stay the course, you get into this age where the glamour of things kind of falls away. And you've lived enough where, things make sense in a more functional, realm, right? You can understand how this is maybe more applicable to life in a way that is reasonable. And you know, I feel that we just get into a point where we just, yeah, there's access to these parts of self, that it feels like they're very closed up when you're younger because you are just preoccupied with different things, you know. And so, you know, I think that definitely, this is so interesting that this is emerging. Now, I do think also, though, as this happens and as maybe your family is like, what is, you know, going on with you? I feel that you will find that there is somebody in your family legacy somewhere. And I think you should, if you have parents or, you know, aunt, uncle, whoever, find out who that was in your family, because I think you had somebody who was like overtly some kind of practitioner, or devoted, you know, to, some kind of, you know, religious, role, right? And so, I think that this is somebody who will guide you, who will definitely be showing up for you. If they already aren't communing with you, you know, they might be. And so I think that's, did we? Yeah, we did read this. I'm just going and going. Going and going. I forget what I'm doing. And also, I was just thinking, I saw oh my goodness, I saw on top of a grain elevator today, and I have to tell somebody because I'm so excited about it. Out here in the country, we have what are called grain elevators, and this is where, they store grains basically. And, some of them are very, very tall. And the one I was looking at today, I saw these two birds up there roosting, and I thought they were big. They were pretty big. And I thought, oh my goodness. And I was trying to look at them with my phone camera, and one turned and it looked like a chicken, like a black chicken up there. And I thought, oh my goodness, how did that chicken get up there? And, anyways, I realized that it was a pair of juvenile turkey vultures, and they were so beautiful. They were just gorgeous. And these are the things that are going on in my head whenever whenever I have a moment. I'm like, you know what animals I saw today? So anyways, thank you for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are going to drop. And what's the other thing? Oh yes, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, if you have not checked out Dove and Serpent Tarot, go and check it out. It's my husband's channel. There are links to it on my my channel here. You'll see a button that has his stuff on there, and you can go over to his channel. You probably have seen him. He's amazing. He's just like the best. So, once in a while, there will be somebody on here that says, oh, I've never seen his stuff. And so if you're that person, go check him out. And yeah, other than that, let's see. Yeah, I love you and I thank you. Take care of yourself. It's the beginning of a new week. I hope it goes well. And yeah, all right. Good night, good night, good night.